welcome to the House of Petty.
What's good?
What's good?
Yeah, we got King Dyron back over here.
And Notorious BRE
the Notorious
in the
BRE,
building.
yeah.
What up?
Yeah, we got both halves of the Shades of Womanhood podcast.
Right. Shades of Womanhood. And yes, God.
Yeah, and just trying to share this out real quick. But so far, how's the days been going over here?
Shit, so far so good. No complaints here, man. I've been all good.
Hot and humid in Texas, but still good.
But last week there was no episode because the trio was under the weather, not feeling too good.
Mm-hmm.
And this week,
I still did a Shades of Womanhood episode, even though I was under weather and Bree had some things she had to do, which I understand. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, but this week I'm feeling kind of sick, but at the same time, this is an emergency live discussion.
Okay.
So
it's definitely an emergency.
So, as many people probably know by now, Kevin Samuels has left Earth. Not a fan of his, but RIP. And
same here.
Actually, we got a comment already from Royal Smokes. He's like, "Damn, where was my invite? I would love to join." Yo, I got you, son. Hold on, we about to get one more person on here. Just
ooh.
Right.
My bad, babe. Chills. It happens sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm about to share this right here. That's what your girl be treating you. That's the dough.
All right, we're about to get one more person up in here. Roy, check your inbox.
Mm-hmm. And put your ass on here, right? God damn it, the hell now, because we gotta hear your opinion on this. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, it says now he's busy. All right, yeah. I mean, this was like a last minute live though. Like we wasn't planning this or anything like that. Me, King Dyron, Latria, and Notorious BRE were, just talking about the Kevin Samuels thing. A lot of people having opinions. A lot of opinions going around.
Okay.
Like I said, I wasn't a fan of Kevin Samuels, but RIP to the person. I don't wish death on nobody, even my worst enemy. But he did make an interesting presence as to why some people do feel that they don't mind, clowning him in his passing, so to speak. So who wants to go first and open the floor?
I say King should go first.
I was gonna say you, Notorious Bree, but I'll go. Really, I don't want to bash the man, but I just, based on the things that I'm hearing and a little bit of research I've done, I've seen some videos, and he's not somebody to celebrate. Like, I don't understand anybody that wants to celebrate him. Anybody who looks up to him, who agrees with his logic and his way of thinking. I mean, to me, I watched the interview, man. It was just big creep status to me. He sounded like a creep, you know what I mean? Like he sounded like a certified creep, and there were some things he was interviewing a woman and he asked her a series of questions regarding, how he asked her, one of the questions he asked her was, if a man was trying to marry you, if you were trying to get married to a man, what does your child have to, how could your child provide? What could your child provide to the relationship or to the marriage? And I just kind of thought that was a creepy kind of a question, because why would a child have to, provide something to a marriage?
They don't, they're a child.
Exactly.
It's a child we're talking about here. So it didn't make any sense to me. And then he went on to ask another question that was even more, that got way more odd to me. He asked that if he were indeed married to the woman, and let's say 5 or 10 years ago passed, and her daughter grows up. One night she hops out the shower and she goes to her mom and she says, "Hey, mom, Kev touched and saw me and looked at me when I came out of the shower. What would you do?" He asked the woman, what would she do? She said that she would end the relationship, and that at that point her relationship with him would have to come to an end. And in so many ways, he tried to make her feel like she was wrong, like that was the wrong answer, and like somehow she's supposed to take his side and always, consult with him first before she makes any. I mean, you don't consult with nobody before you protect your children.
Exactly.
And
You
see,
don't.
I'm glad you brought that up, King, not to interrupt you, but I'm glad you brought that up because as a mother of a 12-year-old daughter who has been sexually assaulted, and I'm not going to go into detail about what happened to my daughter, just know that I've had to contact law enforcement and go through a lot of channels to get justice, and now I'm having to get her some mental health. But to me, him saying that seems very insensitive. It's almost like him saying that if your child makes a cry that they've been assaulted or they feel uncomfortable with somebody, that you're a bad parent for taking action.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that's weird. That's crazy.
It's weird. It's pretty much what it's doing is almost like you're guarding against something like that happening in the future.
And his
You know what I'm
issue,
saying?
and his issue with that is that the man has an issue. The man made it perfectly clear that high value men do not want to marry single mothers because why would a man want to take care of another man's child? What does he get out of that? What is the benefit for him? So he's making it seem like stepchildren are just the issue, period.
Sure.
But there's high value men who have stepchildren. I mean, why you worried about stepchildren? Your own child could come out and say, your biological child could come out and say, "Daddy looked at me strange," or "Daddy touched me and made me feel uncomfortable." So is the mother not supposed to take action in that course because that's your biological father and I'm supposed to believe him above you any day? Like, I mean, that's just crazy to me.
Right.
And I've had, I have nieces that were molested by their biological father. And, he ended up, getting probation or whatever here in the state of Texas. So was my sister not supposed to take action because that was their biological dad and she used to be married to that man? Was she supposed to take his side when apparently, clearly, since he got convicted, he was doing it?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, shit doesn't even have to be high value, low value, or anything like that. Like, I mean, shitty people are shitty people, period.
Exactly.
Right. Just because you have money or clout or fame or whatever doesn't mean that you're not susceptible to be a predator. I.e. Jeff Epstein, he was a billionaire. I.e. Harvey Weinstein, he's a billionaire.
Facts.
Hugh Hefner was a predator. We just now find this out after his death. He was a billionaire.
Mm-hmm.
So high value doesn't mean good character. That's the issue that I have with that.
That's the thing. People are too busy trying to equate the size of a bank account to, oh, that must be a good person because they make a lot of money. And it's like, no, like you can make a lot of money and you could be the biggest piece of shit on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the shittiest people are the ones who have the most money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're the most corrupt.
Yeah, and I saw something the other day that a person with nothing will be quicker to give you everything as opposed to a person who literally has everything.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people with money, they are very stingy with their money because they feel like, I work to get all this money, you need to work and get all this money. I've talked to waitresses and waiters that say that middle class people give higher tips than these upper class people who have the 6-figure jobs and up.
That's true.
So that goes to show you that these, I mean, like you said, Mike, just piggybacking off of what you said.
You know, that's facts though. don't know if you guys have ever watched The Sopranos before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was the one where like Chris, who was like, you know, right under like Tony Soprano, pretty much like you know, he was a main guy, mobster, or whatever. And it was like when you were a new made guy, like you had to treat everybody else to like dinner or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They were doing this like all week or whatever, and then finally toward the end of the week, he was like, "Yo, like he's like, I don't got that much more money on me," so he left the guy a tip on like a bill that I guess was like over $1,600 or something like that, you know, because they were ordering food, Cristal, everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
He left them like I think like a $15 tip or something like that on like a $1,600 bill or something. And the waiter came out to approach him like, yo, if you can't afford to tip me, then whatever, don't tip. You know, basically saying like, oh, this is a shitty tip. You know, so it's like you got people like that come from money, like their families have money, they come from money, they make mad money, but they leave you a lousy tip because they just don't respect the person that basically beat them.
Same.
I agree.
And I'll be honest with you, I always got those vibes from Kevin Samuels that, like, you know, he thought more of himself than, you know, what he probably, you know what I mean? Like he always gave those vibes of like, he's trying to mention a high value man because he sees himself as a high value man. And like, oh, if I see somebody that's beneath me, I'm just going to shit on them.
Yeah, Kevin Samuels most definitely had a huge air of arrogance about himself. And I don't know, like I said earlier, a high value man take care of his kids. This man died owing child support and being estranged from his daughter.
Yeah. He strikes me for a big narcissist for sure.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I agree. I definitely agree.
Yeah, but Bree, you did say you have been studying the situation. Like, you know, what was it you were saying before that you've found out?
Yes, I've been studying Kevin Samuels for at least 2 years, and I've watched quite a few of his videos. I've seen clips, I've seen posts, I've seen it all. And I just know that the way he died and the way he actually lived his life was very much so contradictory to what he preached on his lives. I mean, he told overweight women, you're gonna die alone. You're not marriage material. He told single mothers the same thing. He told women over 35 that had never been married and had kids the same thing. He used to have this theme that he had that women between the ages of 27 and 35 was considered to be women in the danger zone. And the danger zone is the zone that you're in right before it becomes dangerous for a woman to get pregnant. Usually women who get pregnant 35 and up, it's a high risk pregnancy because of your age. So he was basically saying that after 27, you're no longer in your prime, you're in the danger zone. So basically you need to lower your standards and get whatever type of man you can get, and most likely is not going to be a high value man because you have nothing to offer being a 35-year-old woman that's no longer in your childbearing prime. You have nothing to offer if you're a fat woman. You have nothing to offer if you're a single mother because a high value man ain't taking care of your kids from another man and all this shit, but yet you died in a room with a plus size nurse.
Well, I mean, this is where like I kind of see something on two sides of the fence. Like, one, Kevin Samuels is wrong for making those kinds of statements.
Exactly.
But two, some of the women that entered those lives were going into those lives knowing that they're seeking a man only because of his financial status or something like that. So it's like, yo, one, like you're coming on there as a gold digger, asking gold digger questions, and then are kind of offended when you get treated like a gold digger. You know, but at the same time, him coming from that side of like, you know, oh, promoting that, hey, well, you're not good enough for this kind of man. Now it's like, okay, now you're just belittling to belittle.
Right.
Yeah, so it's like both sides of the fence, they're both fucking wrong.
Yeah.
For sure.
Then he used to tell women, because you would have women from all different demographics and socioeconomic classes calling in. He would tell a lot of women, especially black women, since black women are the highest or the most educated demographic in the United States. That's just statistics. He would tell educated Black women who called in that had bachelor's, masters, PhDs. He would tell them, well, a man don't give a fuck about your money. He don't care about your education. You know, are you fit? Are you cooperative? Are you you know, he had very old, antiquated, back in the 1940s and 50s type of thinking when it came to women and what they should bring to the table. He basically told a woman, as long as you come to the table with good looks and you're cooperative and submissive, that's all that a high value man wants and needs from you.
That's crazy.
As hell. Let me say this real quick. It don't matter if a man is high value or not. If a man expects a woman to be submissive, he's got to give that woman something to submit to. Respect. You're not going to expect me to be submissive to you if you're disrespecting me and calling me out my name and putting multiple people before me and expecting me to put you first. No, boo-boo.
Or it's kind of hard for a woman to be submissive when you tell her, well, if you want a high value man, you got to deal with the fact that he go cheat on you. It's hard to be submissive when you know that your high value man is out here cheating on you. So you basically telling her that she just need to deal with it.
Go ahead, Bree. Go ahead, baby. Go ahead, Bree.
Yeah, that's all I got to say right now. Cause I mean, I never did hate Mr. Samuels. I just never agreed. He came on the scene. I don't know if y'all know, but years ago when he first came on the scene, he used to get on men really bad. Yeah. But then he switched to getting on women, and that's what brought him the over 1 million subscribers and all the money that he had before he died. Damn. Now he made it seem like he was online to try to uplift the Black community and get black men and black women together so we could have families and know how to treat each other and get along. Mm-hmm. But how do you do that when you're on a podcast obliterating this lady? Every time these men get on here and give you money, they're watching that, they're laughing at the women, they're making fun of them, and you're getting money for degrading people. So how is that bringing cohesiveness when your whole podcast has turned into divisiveness? You get what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Telling me that I need to lose 50 pounds in order to get a man ain't go make me feel good about myself or make me, want to do this, that, and the other. But the man was just contradictory because my weight, just personally me, has never kept me from any type of romantic relationship.
I mean, you got men out there that like women that are heavier. You know what I mean? Like, just like you got men out there that like stick figures.
Right. Yep. And you have men with money who are not with stick figures.
You got women that are stick figures that'll get fucked over by men.
Right.
And another thing I want to add to that too, a lot of these so-called high-value men, if you cheat on a woman that's been there for you since day one, when you get rich, you're not even near high value. You the scum of the fucking earth. But the bottom of the fucking red bottom hill.
But let's be real about it too. Like, there's a flip side to that coin also, because you could be rich and successful and all that other stuff, and you could be fucked over by a woman. I mean, just for example, Johnny Depp.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That too.
Amber Heard is doing that man dirty.
And while we're talking about weight and shit, these same high value men, like Kevin Samuels, instead of cheating on your wives. You need to be investing in them and being faithful to them.
But the irony about Kevin Samuels is that he didn't become high value or a high paid man until the last year before he died.
That's what Simps was paying to see his shit.
So he wasn't even living up to his own criteria of what a high value man is.
Exactly.
He said a high value man is a man that's in his community, that's recognized by other men as high value. He has been rich or has been making six figures or more for at least the last 5 years consecutively. Like he had a criteria and for what a high value man was, and he wasn't even meeting his criteria. And then on top of that, your personal life is janky and jacked up. I don't even know if we want to go into the fact that he was in the room with a plus size nurse, ingesting cocaine laced with fentanyl. Do high value men snort cocaine with fentanyl? Do high value men be hundreds of thousands of dollars in back child support and not take care of their dependents?
Not based on his criteria.
Because he definitely got a 22-year-old daughter out here that don't even fuck with him, that hadn't talked to him in years, and I doubted if they was able to even kind of repair their relationship. I hope they was able to repair it somewhat before he died.
Ooh,
but you can't talk about high value men. And first of all, does a high value man live in an apartment that's not even in your name, that's not even in his name?
Oh wow.
If you making money and you a high value man, you should have a house, if not multiple houses, my nigga. You lived in an apartment that wasn't even in your name. I'm telling y'all got to keep researching this. I've been up all night long ever since that nigga croaked and dropped on that floor. I've been researching this story. And I'm gonna tell y'all something else. Y'all just watch out. Next couple of weeks, one of them ex-wives go come to the forefront and she go start talking. Remember this conversation.
I mean,
yeah, I can see that.
Just talking about like from his stereotype of what a high value man is supposed to be.
But we'd probably be back on the podcast when the wives come out and get open up their mouth.
Yeah, he had 2 ex-wives. They gonna come out, trust me.
Oh, somebody gonna been and spoke out. Yeah. That's gonna be the headline. Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels' ex-wife speaks out.
Kevin Samuels, the deadbeat dad. The high value deadbeat dad. Now that nigga is a high value corpse.
Damn.
Ooh, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, maggot food.
I mean,
I value maggot food.
I mean, keep in mind,
Order.
This is not a celebration of death, but
order in the court.
Facts.
Exactly. Indeed, they are facts.
Okay, Mike. I hadn't taken my meds today. Just excuse me for that one. Here we go.
Yeah, but no, I mean that's all we really got for today, though. I mean, it's just Kevin Samuels. You know, I mean, like he was living a certain life that he claimed was of high value, and like putting it out there that if you ain't this, then you do not pass that certain spectrum. And it's like, oh no, I mean, legit, like a lot of it was contradictory.
Exactly.
You know, and, I mean, I don't wish death on nobody. Like I said, like, you know, this is not to celebrate his death, but it is just to say, like, look, you're going to have people that are going to come out and basically cape for him because they were fans of his channel. And then you got people out there that just hated the guy. So, of course, they're going to be like, oh, fuck him. But then you got other people that would just know, like, look, I mean, you know, this is what he was. You know, I mean, this is who he was. Like, it is what it is. Like, you know, that's just the facts of how he lived. You know, and what's up, Michaela?
Hey, what's up?
But see, my thing is that
I'm about to say
it's not a celebration.
I'm just now seeing the comments. I ain't really.
It's not a celebration of his death, Mike.
What's
Because when the man died, I felt pretty indifferent because I really didn't care for him either way. There was a couple of things that he said during some of his lives that I did agree with that just made practical common sense.
We ain't pretty good, Michaela, but you can jump right in, you know.
But the
Sound good.
fact that this man lived contradictory to what he preached, and you have to understand why women are celebrating, or why a lot of, I don't even call it celebrating, I would have to say why a lot of women just don't give a damn, is because this man, look at the legacy that he left.
Yep.
That he didn't leave a very good legacy.
Nope.
And I'm a proponent of what you put out there is what you get back.
Mhm.
He put out negativity when he was alive, and now niggas don't give a fuck that he dead. And you really can't be mad at him.
And folks are really mad about the fact that he's gone and saying that women are celebrating his death. I mean, shit. You put
I
out,
don't think that is so much celebration as it is just a lack of sympathy.
Yeah, that's what it
You know,
is.
it's more just like they just not really empathetic. They don't sympathize with him. He dead, and they just don't care. Condolences to his family, but as far as they're concerned, the hell with it. You know.
Now I do feel sorry for his mother who had to find out he was dead via the internet.
Mm.
I do feel sorry for her because
me too.
at the end of the day, he was somebody's father, brother, uncle, and son.
Mm-hmm.
And no parent should have to find out that their grown child died from the internet.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Michaela, I sent you a link.
Mm-hmm. Come on, hop on, sis.
I'll give him a hand back to you.
I'm with Michaela, where it's like, yeah, I don't agree with celebrating, but at the same time, I'm at that side where it's like, you know, I'm not gonna mourn dude very long either, you know what I mean, or at all, you know, like, it's just I wasn't a fan.
Shit, I ain't celebrating either.
Okay, let me. Okay, since y'all talking about the non-celebration of his death, let me give y'all an example of somebody who probably, if they croak, y'all wouldn't give a fuck. Daniel Scott.
Oh, I
Ooh,
wouldn't give 2 fucks. No.
me either.
So that's the same way black women feel about Kevin right now. They don't care.
Shit. That's the same way I feel about all evil people. You put out evil, that's what your ass get.
I don't think the man was evil. The man even talked about his mother a few times on his podcast. The man had some childhood issues with his mom. He had some issues with commitment and heartbreak and stuff like that. And I just think it's sad a lot of times, especially men, especially black men, that when they go through emotional issues or when they go through heartbreak, they don't know how to handle it other than aggression or lashing out and Kevin just allowed himself to become bitter. And he made that podcast to spew his bitterness towards women, instead of him going to a psychiatrist or a therapist and getting some mental health help. So I just hope that men, especially black men, learn from his death. Mm-hmm. That if you're going through something, you don't have to suffer in silence. I need for you to go get help. Mm-hmm. Because when you don't get help, you become bitter, you become jaded, you become difficult to deal with. People don't want to fuck with you. That's why women now don't care about him being dead. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it sounds harsh, but I can see it from both areas, you know.
I feel you.
Me too.
And I'm not just saying this to be saying this. I'm saying this coming from a person that has battled with my own mental illness for over 10 years. I take medication daily. Your mental is a priority. I need black men to make their mental a priority.
Mm-hmm. I completely agree.
Because I'm sure that Tria and King can both agree with me, and even Michaela, that when it comes down to mental health in the black community, it's taboo and it's something that we don't talk about. And it's definitely something that black men don't talk about.
Mm-hmm.
We don't talk. I know as black men, we definitely don't have a conversation enough.
Exactly.
If at all. You know, because I think that for us, it's always like that. You know, people are so sensitive to it because, like, oh, I don't want to seem like I'm weak or less than. But I'm gonna tell you, like, it's little shit like, you know, mental health, like with depression and stuff like that. Like, that's all a part of, you know, emotional and mental stability. Like, you got to get yourself together. You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't value it because, like I said, I think they feel like it make them look weak. So they don't have those conversations about like shit that they struggling with or don't really want to go and talk to a therapist or something like that because, you know, they feel like they make them less than, but it don't, man. I mean, the first step to fixing a problem is acknowledging that you have one.
Right.
You know, and rather that be, you know, drug addiction, alcohol addiction, or mental health issues, you know, you just got to know you have an issue, acknowledge that you have one, and that's how you begin to fix it. You know, I do think that, you know, Kevin Samuels might have been going through some, you know, some personal mental stuff. You know, I think that's possible, but, you know, whatever.
I think
Hi,
that's
everybody.
probably
Can
the
you hear
biggest
me?
thing.
We can hear you.
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Oh yeah, speak your
Okay,
mind.
good. All I want to say is this: like, I agree with everything that everybody is saying, right? I do, but it is kind of weird, sick, twisted, demonic. The cheering of his death, the celebration of his death. I understand that people. I didn't like the motherfucker either, right? But I'm not going to celebrate the man having a heart attack and dying, right? Even if it's in like an ironic situation that he was with a heavier set woman and he used to always talk shit about heavier set women, right? Even though I can understand the irony, right? Even though there's a rumor that the woman is trans, even though that people don't kind of squash that rumor, but you know, I just, I'm never gonna celebrate. Even like the question, I think Bree asked if Daniel Scott died, I would be sad. I would be sad that that lost soul never found peace or had. Well, I mean, unless he finds peace and change. But you know, I just. I'm never gonna celebrate any, no matter how. Even if Donald Trump died, I wouldn't be like, "Oh, thank God, the world got rid." I'm gonna be like, "Oh,
No,
Donald
wait, that's
Trump died."
that got to be celebrated. Fuck Donald Trump.
Now, Mike, you need to calm down.
It's,
He didn't do any good while here. Like all he did was spread nothing but negativity. That man.
Exactly.
and this is the other thing with Kevin Samuels, right? And this is the thing that I want to harp on really quick. Like, I'm all about accountability, right? So accountability is I don't feel like black women have even the right to be this mad at the man when we are the ones who made him famous. We are the ones who gave him a platform. We are the ones who watched this show. We are the ones who made him a millionaire. We are the reason why YouTube was sending that man a check for $1 million a month.
What she
Because
said.
black women.
Wow.
Yeah.
What
She's
she
right.
think they calling him.
She's
Yes,
right.
it's not like he was asking the girls to. They were calling and begging for their advice from Kevin Samuels. They would wait in line for hours and for weeks on ends to finally get a spot to finally ask the man a
To try to
question,
get
right?
So
validation
he
from
could
a
say
no
some
value man.
bullshit to him.
But
People
that's what
waiting
I
in
was.
line and waiting on check, waiting on the phone, waiting on hold on the phone so he could say some bullshit to him.
Yeah, but that's why I
But
was.
we did that, right? So then how can we be so mad at a monster we created?
But Michaela, that's why I said earlier that it's not just him; it's the women that were calling into a show also. Because granted, he was in the wrong, but they were in the wrong too. Like it was on both sides.
Because I don't know if y'all noticed about Kevin Samuels, but the first 5 years of his blog or podcast, he was doing the exact same shit, but to black men. He was telling black men how they need to change and how they ain't shit and how they need to get better paying jobs and
He
get
like the
attention.
old ass
But
Barrett
black men
Jackson.
stopped. Yes, but black men stopped watching his shit. So then he had to redirect to black women, and black women bought into it. Black women bought into the hate, right? So I can't be mad at him for something that I like. I never used to watch his shows. I just used to watch the clips that used to come across the internet, and if it was a clip that I felt like I needed to investigate further, I would go to his channel and watch. But I wouldn't just sit up there and I'm not coming to Kevin Samuels for damn advice. So for all the women who did, you can't be mad.
Everybody in your business. Like you want to talk to everybody.
I agree with Michaela. That's why I never
I
called
did
her.
too.
I agree with Michaela.
I don't feel like for the people who so mad, like who never used to watch his show, great, be silent. Silence isn't that what you're supposed to do? Just give them a moment of silence. Let them put the man in the ground before y'all dance on his grave first. But let them put him in the ground first. But be mad at your sisters for calling in. Be like, why are you calling this damn idiot for advice? Why are you waiting in line for weeks for this damn idiot? Why are you purposely letting him manipulate? Like, it's this clip that went online that just pisses me off so much because it was this woman who called in because she was like, her daughter came to her and said that her husband, who is not her daughter's father, was possibly touching on her or whatever, right? And this woman had a damn valid point, but she sat up there and let this man manipulate her into saying that because the man wasn't her biological father, she automatically believed the daughter. But if the man was her biological father, she wouldn't automatically believe the daughter. It made the lady look like a damn idiot, right?
Mm-hmm.
She sat up there and waited for 2 weeks for that moment for him to make her look like an idiot for that shit. Bitch, if your daughter told you that your husband was fucking on her, bitch, you should be calling 911, not Kevin fucking Samuels, right? So it goes back to like my issue with trans women with trans amorous men, right? Like I feel like trans women it's the go fault. Like blame the man. It's always the man's fault. The man is always the fault. It's the man, it's the man, it's the man. But if you didn't let the man inside your pussy, girl, then it never would happen. So it's the same thing. Like if y'all never watched Kevin Samuels, then you wouldn't have a reason to be mad at Kevin Samuels.
That's true. Because I mean, I was never mad at the man. I just thought a lot of his talking points was whack. I never took the man seriously, and I never understood why women felt the need to call into this man's show, knowing how he was, to get some type of validation. I don't need validation from a so-called wannabe high-value man that's living in an apartment. Nigga, I own a house. I'm more high value than you. Get some shit in your name.
He preyed on people like that, though.
They had low self-esteem, apparently.
Yeah, he preyed on them kind of people.
That money. Yep. Sure did.
That's all he was doing was preying on women with low self-esteem.
Yeah.
Simple. Shit. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah.
He just kind of put me in the mindset like an old ass Derek Jackson.
Oh shit.
And we see what happened to Derek.
Yeah, we crucified his ass.
Derek talking about relationships, and you fucking 4-5 different bitches on your wife.
Yep.
And then she coming off in there with this French beret on, looking a damn fool. Girl, bye. Get the fuck out of here.
Not to mention
all of these
videos he was
because-
making from the same bitch's house every goddamn time.
Right.
Correct. Like it was just. I mean, it's just all like all of this shit is just a ploy. In hell, I'm gonna sit up here and take it one step further. We're not gonna act like we don't have trans Derek Kevin Samuels in our community that preach the gospel of the right way of being a trans woman, but sit up here and live a whole other life. Like there, we have Kevin. Like I'd rather be mad at the people who I feel like are the Kevin Samuels in my community, who personally affect my life on a day-to-day basis with their hypocrisies. Kevin Samuels, if the dumb bitches want to be mad at him, okay, I'm just not going to celebrate a man's death. Now, I'm not saying anybody is dumb for being mad at him. I'm just saying I just never paid him much attention in the first place to even give a damn. Like, he was never a celebrity to me.
I feel you. I completely agree. Like he got more popularity than he really deserved.
Yeah.
So
What's a bigger issue to me, and I'm sorry I miss y'all, but y'all know this is what I do. It's damn Shauna Brooks in this damn music video when she just said that her and Benzino had nothing going on like last week. Now she made a whole song talking about Benzino was giving her head. she was getting some hair from Benzino with no neck. And I just think it's comical, but it's just so wrong. And when Benzino kills Shauna, I don't know how I would feel.
No. Let's hope that doesn't happen.
I don't know. I hope it doesn't happen.
But she
But
played
when
a
you play
dangerous
silly
game.
games, you win silly prizes. And she is playing a very silly game right now.
But according to the story of how this has gone, I'll be honest with you, the House of Petty over here, we side with Shauna Brooks on this case. Because Benzino definitely violated himself on this whole fucking thing. The moment he said that he would kill her, any kind of legitimate claim that he would have had to be in setup or whatever the case may be, that whole fucking thing went out the window.
But why is she making a video giving him even more of a reason to try to kill her? I think that's what Michaela is coming from.
I think what Shauna Brooks is probably trying to do is she's probably trying to play the rap beef right now because let's face it, her goal is to be a commercialized rapper for the trans community. So therefore, what she's probably trying to do is she's probably trying to come at Benzino, who is a half-ass rapper, trying to, basically,
But that ain't gonna help. I've been told y'all last time, Benzino ain't nobody.
Exactly, but
that's why they can't even cancel him from the comments he made because he ain't got shit to cancel.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, come on, man. They would have did him just like they did the baby if he had some. I mean, what he got? Ain't nobody worried about Benzino, man.
And this is
Benzino ain't about to do nothing to
Shauna
Shauna Brooks. Shauna Brooks ain't worried about Benzino. She laughing at the dude. Why she doing that shit?
I get it, but that's not the issue. It's not Shauna. It's us in real life who have to deal with the backlashes of this bullshit.
Exactly.
Right? Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's the everyday trans woman like Michaela and Latria and the numerous other plethora of trans women that I can name that have to deal with the backlash of her doing some fuck shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
That's why she needs to stop. Stop while she already ahead. He already
and the issue is, I'm sorry to cut you off, Bree. The issue is that she already said that they never had anything sexual going on. They were just friends. They would text back and forth, right? So why would you make a song and the first lyric is "I was getting some head by Benzino No Neck"? What is that supposed to imply?
It was catchy.
Now you're saying that he was sucking on your dick?
You said it was catchy.
It was catchy.
It was shit.
She was catching some head.
But you went from saying that there was no sexual interaction to now saying that he went down on you.
Yeah, I mean, hey.
And you know how the men are, especially black men, they'll kill you about their reputation.
Yeah.
I mean, rather than stay true or false, you will die about that shit. So you can't be playing around.
Right.
It don't really matter whether it's true or false. Truth be told, I mean, shit, it could be true for all we know.
Right.
But
because I mean, shit, the way the butthurt is he acting about his shit. I wouldn't put it
I'm not
past
saying that I
know.
feel like she deserves to die. Please trust and believe. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, again, if you play silly games, you win silly prizes. What outcome did she expect to happen? Like Benzino,
record sales.
A record deal from beefing with Benzino? Like,
no, I said record
sales. Does nobody give a fuck about? Like, I don't understand. Like, if it was somebody like, I don't know, Nelly or Ludacris, where people gave a damn,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if it's like, I said that
I wouldn't agree with it either, but at least I would be like, okay, I guess you're trying to get something from it, but Benzino?
Nobody gives a fuck about Benzino. Nobody gives a damn about
That's
Benzino.
Your biggest prize?
That's what I've been saying, King. Don't nobody give a fuck about Benzino.
Yo, good question though. So if he has nothing to cancel and nobody gives a fuck about him, which I completely agree because I really don't give a fuck about him, should he change his name from Benzino to Jetta?
What the fuck?
Or Benzino to Chevy? Like, should he change it down? Like, should he down?
Either that or Benzino.
He should change his name to Cora's father. That's what he should just be. Cora's father. That's it.
Good one. Good one.
Because Coyle Ray already got more of a career.
Oh,
yeah, she's dope. Like, his daughter is dope, and like, That's the part that eats him up about his daughter. She did it without his help. She did it without fucking with him. Like she didn't even want the world to know that she was his child until she was already famous. Until he said something about it. Like
I didn't know that.
Why
was
should she want the world to know that that's her
Neither
daddy
one
when
of
he
us
never?
didn't know. I didn't know either.
But why should she want the world to know that that's her daddy when he never was a part of her life? Like Kevin Samuels was never a part of his daughter's life, and was behind in child support. Here we go. But these are high value men. Okay.
Right.
Yikes.
Mm.
but you can only sell snake oils to the ones who want to buy it. And hey, I can't be mad at you if you or I guess I can by not supporting you, right? I don't believe in this whole just because I don't believe in it, this is America, bitch. Say what you got to say. I just know to avoid your ass, right? I just don't understand why more people in 2022 just don't, instead of just jumping into the bullshit, just go to the avoidance, right? Like, going back to the example of Daniel Scott, like, the girls know Daniel Scott is an idiot, right? So every couple of years, less and less people fuck with him. That's why he gets more and more ballistic because less and less people fuck with him. Man, that coming out show. The come out show. That shit.
Was hilarious.
That was the best episode of that entire series.
Agreed.
But that still was not my favorite reading of Daniel Scott. If y'all can go back, I'm not gonna do that. But
No,
I am.
His ex.
She went there.
It was one day. She just got sick of his shit, man, and she just exposed that man for everything that it was worth. And that was like the most hilarious shit I've ever seen before in life.
Whew. The minute she said pink panty wearing, I said, "Whoop! Let me unfriend this motherfucker." Click, click, click.
That shit is hilarious.
He
That
was wearing
shit
pink
is-
panties.
He was a Pink Panther.
You silly.
Was he wearing women's panties though?
That's what she said.
Well, that's the problem. He's one of them trans attracted men who want to be a trans woman his damn self.
Dang.
And not to mention, every time I turned around, somebody posted a new picture of Daniel Scott in the goddamn chat group thing. Which was, I said, who the fuck would want to see that?
Yo, that is on some Macaulay Culkin shit.
Ugh.
Yeah, pardon me. I'm fucking doped up on Dayquil.
No, you good.
I'm fucking sick as hell.
Hey, you get too close.
You'll be all right later.
Yeah, but I mean, on that note, that's basically the show. We coming up on like 50 minutes over here, almost an hour of this. Yeah, you know, like I said, we didn't fuck with Kevin Samuels, but R.I.P.
Rest in peace.
Go to the grave in your own peace or whatever. You know what I mean? Like whatever the fuck it is.
Rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. I guess you dead at best, huh? Like you told that woman she was average at best, you dead at best. I don't give a fuck. I'm sorry. Maybe y'all shouldn't have asked my black ass to be on the show. Because y'all know I ain't got no sense.
Oh shit!
All I'm gonna say with Kevin Samuels is what goes on in the dark always comes to the light. So at the end of the day, you was a trick paying an escort in an Airbnb, sir, and that's how you died.
Yo, basically what this show was, it was a House of Petty episode that has kind of
Kevin Samuels, a nigga that
this is kind of brought back a Real Talk podcast a little bit because this was
died. Ain't you one told me he died?
Let me answer this real quick. He sure did go out with a bang.
He truly did.
He did.
And there's something in my soul that wants this woman to be trans, even though they're saying that it's not. I've heard this woman's voice, and I'm kind of convinced that she is. So, if this woman is trans, and after all his also anti-LGBTQ shit too, it would just be everything. It would just be he was an ultimate hypocrite and everything. All y'all people who were supporting him are idiots.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Said he was having chest pain.
Especially the men that's been crying ever since he died, like that was their daddy or something.
Boy, Dave.
And Lord, let it come out that he was on coke and he overdosed on the coke habit.
Ooh, child.
They said he had cocaine laced with fentanyl.
He had cocaine less with that.
That's
He
crazy.
was doing them drugs.
Hell of a drug.
He was doing them drugs over there messing around.
Mm-hmm.
And see,
I mean,
my
I don't
thing
wish
is, if
for
he was
this for
caught with a
him,
nurse, do you not think that a nurse knows how much fentanyl to give your ass for you to croak?
Shit.
Have y'all thought about that?
Oh yeah, well she probably killed his ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was.
She
I
probably
think
was
it
just
was
a
a setup.
Rexall nurse. She probably was just inspecting his anus. That's it.
Oh, child.
Cavity check.
I can't. I can't.
Yeah, she was giving that nigga a cavity check. That's what was going on.
That's it. That's it. That's the kind of nurse she was.
So we taking cocaine in the ass now? Is that what y'all trying to say?
Hey.
I didn't know that could happen. Shit. I need to know these things because I'm about to go to nursing school.
They doing some shit nowadays now. Watch out.
Mm.
I don't know. I don't know nothing about it.
You know, he was a high value man, so he probably had to buy some
Oh yeah.
high paying coochie. So
Yeah.
he probably had to pay like a weekend at an Airbnb somewhere. That probably was like $1,500. He probably had to
big
get a
dick
girl
woman?
about $1,000. He probably had to buy all the drugs. He probably had to pay for everything for the weekend. So he was spending about $7,000 to get some coochie for this weekend.
Because he was an old ass trick. That's what that is. That's tricking. But hey, if you
And
got
probably
like
what
this,
did him in is, probably all the drugs he was doing plus his little Viagra made his heart pump too fast, and that probably.
and then 5 Red Bulls he would drink a day.
We 5 Red Bulls. Damn. Fucked him up.
Yep.
And fentanyl is a downer, so you got all these uppers, and then you have that downer.
Oh Lord.
He was up.
And they just fighting each other.
That's why I just stick with marijuana. See, that's why I don't fuck with all that.
Understand. And you know what else is so? This is always just the people who be on the most high and mightiest horse in the black community, in the liberal community, in the Republican community, in the trans community, in every community. The bitch on the highest, mightiest horse be the one doing the most dirtiest shit, telling everybody else what not to do.
Right.
Yo, all I gotta say is shout out to Weed World in New York City for holding it down. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You get that flour, you get them edibles, you good.
And the gummies.
And then, that's what I said.
Wait, New York is a legal state now, like legal recreational.
Yo, we
Yes. What you mean?
Yo, we've been on that. Yeah, we've been on that.
I thought y'all was a medical state. Oh damn.
Nah, we've been on that legal shit. We got the dispensary Weed World out there in New York City. You know what I mean? For real.
So over the summer, I'm gonna come visit y'all, and we
Same with Cali.
Takes the brownies, the gummies, the chips, cookies.
I don't need mushroom. I'll sleep on the floor, but I'm coming out there. 'Cause I'm going to fucking.
Oh, for real?
She's like, I gotta make a stop.
You and Bree need to bring y'all asses up here.
Yo.
Y'all might as well just bring y'all asses up here.
First of all, it's too fucking cold to be going to New York. I'm from the South. I don't
Talking
do
about in the
that.
summer, bitch.
Michaela is from Florida. I'm from Texas. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm talking about in the summer, bitch.
You gonna want my ass to come up here when there's a fucking blizzard and shit. Hell nah.
She coughing already.
Who coughing?
Yo, but yeah, real talk. It's almost an hour. I appreciate y'all coming on the podcast tonight.
Definitely appreciate you.
Yeah.
Hey, for sure. Thanks for having me. Again.
Good night, you guys. Thank you.
It gets real. Yeah, thank you.
Yo, and in the meantime, to everybody, check out Michaela Loves Gymnastics. Check out Shades of Womanhood. Follow King Daron because he real talk on that fucking Facebook shit with the lives and everything. Yo,
For sure.
and of course, check out the Real Talk podcast on the streaming platforms. You can check that out. I mean, it's all throwbacks right now, but whatever. And then we'll be back next week with the House of Petty. So, peace out.
I'll be back next week with him. Let's go.
I'm out.
Yeah, let's fucking go.
Let's go. All right, y'all.
Oh no.
Now it's about to end. Yeah.